this, and
this
I
is
know
a true story. Jerry Colonna used to be a trombone player, and he was on the staff of CBS with the orchestra. And Joe Venuti, the jazz violinist, he was always up to some kind of a trick. And Joe Venuti used to sing, "You're my everything, you're my everything." And Jerry Colonna used to copy everything that he did. And Venuti used to carry a mustache in his pocket, and he'd put it on his lips and sing, "You're my everything." So one day Colonna said to me, we were playing a show called We the People, and he lost his job with CBS, and this was the only show he had left. He said, "Bob, I think I'm going out to the coast." I said, "What are you going to do out there?" He said, "I've got to get myself a job." He said, "I know Bing Crosby very well. Maybe I can get into his band." So he went out there, and as soon as Crosby heard him, and Crosby heard him imitate Joe Venuti all the time, he said, "Look, Joe," he said, "I'm going to call up Bob Hope. He has a show that's on every week. Maybe I can get you to sing 'You're My Everything.'" So he sang for Bob Hope, and that's how Jerry Colonna became Jerry Colonna.
terrific.
That's a true story.
At this point, we're going to jump back to a bit more music, and we have a recording now that has you both playing and laughing. It's a side by Mr. Selvin's Orchestra from 1931, and it's called "Smile, Darn Ya, Smile."
This old world is a great world after all. Smile, darn you, smile, and right away watch Lady Luck pay you a call. Things are never black as they are painted. Times that you enjoy should get acquainted. Make life worthwhile. Come on and smile, darn you, smile. Smile, darn you, smile. Darn you, smile.
don't you get lost? You'd be better off laying 'neath the ground. Why don't you get lost? Oh, you messed around with my baby. I won't stand for being double-crossed. Take a fool's advice, I told you twice. Why don't you get lost? Breen said to Henry Green, boy, why don't you get lost? You're the slowest man I've ever seen. Why don't you get lost? If you want to get all my lovin', then you gotta learn to pay the cost. When you love this brown, lay your money down. Why don't you get lost? Said to me last night, boy, why don't you get lost? And she said, you ain't what you used to be, boy, why don't you get lost? Once you were the hottest of lovers, now you're like a broken down horse. So get on your way, 'cause you had your day, why don't you get lost?
Music arranged and conducted by Ernie FioRito for Studies in Contrast. Ernie FioRito now musically doffs his hat to one of the members of his orchestra with a special arrangement of Bob Effros' tune, Getaway, Jitterbug.
If you think you like it, jump, titter, jump, titter, jump, titter, jump, titter, get away. Pick up your feet, don't be such a nicky. The industry isn't very tricky. Jump, titter, jump, titter, jump, titter, jump, titter, break it up, you jitterbug. Don't be horny, try to keep with me before we know. You'll get half and feel out of rhythm and tap and hidey-ho. Truck into town, give 'em all a thriller. You're mowing down, what a killer diller. Jump, jitter, jump, jitter, jump, jitter, jump, jitter, get away, you jitterbug. get you down, give 'em all a thriller. You'll roll down what a killer diller. Jump, jitter, jump, jitter, jump, jitter, jump, jitter, get away, you jitterbug.
Okay, we're back again. That was Getaway, Jitterbug, a 1939 air check of Ernie FioRito's orchestra, a Bob Effros composition, and we heard Bob in there briefly on his trumpet solo. Before that, from 1932, Chick Bullock and his Levee Loungers, Why Don't You Get Lost, another Effros composition, and I believe that was actually the Gene Cardos band. We began with Smile, Darn You Smile, Ben Selvin's Orchestra from 1931, and that was Benny Goodman was in there, and Bob Effros was laughing all the way to the bank, I guess, on that record. And let's see, we've only got about 15 or so minutes left, Bob, so, well, actually, no, it's 15. I'd like to hear the story about Manny Klein, because I remember I asked you about why, you know, if you didn't make the big voyage out to California when the things started picking up out there with the movies.
Well, I heard Manny Klein playing with the Keith's Boys Band, and he was a wonderful trumpet player. He played a lot of jazz, and I got him a show on Broadway. And he was in there about 2 months, so one day I said to him, Manny, how'd you like to freelance with me, go to work with me? He said, Bob, I can't. You know, after all, I'm making $90 a week, and come Saturday I gotta get my $90. So he turned me down. So I kept on his neck, and I finally got him to go to work with me, and Ben Selvin was the first one that he made a record for. He worked with me. Do you want to hear the Gershwin story?
Sure.
I have a story on George Gershwin, who happened to be one of the most talented persons that I've ever met. He was a great artist, painter. They run exhibitions of his paintings every year, and I used to do a show with him on CBS called Phenomen's Show, and we had about a 40-piece orchestra, and Louis Katzman used to conduct, and George Gershwin used to play the piano solos and was master of ceremonies. So one day I come to find out all the shows that George composed, he didn't score one show because he didn't know how to score. He used to write a lead sheet and an arranger would write the score. So he said to me one day, Bob, I think I'm going to take a trip to Paris for about 2 months, and while there I want to meet Maurice Ravel, and maybe he can give me some lessons in scoring. Maurice Ravel was a great composer and a great scorer. So he was over there and he came back, and I said to him, George, by the way, did you meet Maurice Ravel? He started to laugh. He says, yeah. I told him that I wanted to study scoring with him. So Maurice Ravel says, you're George Gershwin? He says, yes. He said, oh my God, I've heard so much about you. Tell me, how much do you make a year, George? So George told him about $250,000 a year. So Maurice Ravel says, I'd like to study with you. Anyway, he took lessons with Maurice Ravel, and he came back here and he studied with a man by the name of Schillinger, who was a refugee from Germany. And he studied with Schillinger about 2 months, and he decided to score the first show of his life. What was it? Porgy and Bess. And while scoring it, he used to bring the parts in without any titles, and he'd say to us, fellas, do me a favor. This was during the rehearsal. It wasn't broadcast. He said, would you mind running over this? I want to hear what it sounds like. So we used to play it. And one day he passed something out that was very fast, about 64 bars, very fast, no title on it. We get through. I said, George, sounds like someone gets killed. He says, you want to know something? While this is being played, there's a colored fella gets stabbed to death, Porgy, while this is being played. So anyway, he finished scoring the show, and the show was ready to open. So he said to me one day, he said, Bob, how much are you making a week? This was during the Depression. I said, George, I'm making about $600-700 a week. He says, I tell you what. He said, if you come in and play the show for me in the pit, I'll give you $1,000 a week. I said, I'm sorry, George, I can't do it. He said, why not? I said, it means I'll have to give up all my connections. So I didn't take the show. The show opened, and the show ran about, every critic ran the show down. They all panned it, every critic. Show ran about 3 months and closed. And George got very sick, and he decided to go to California. So I come to find out that he developed a tumor of the brain and that he was operated on. And I called him on the phone out there. Right after the operation, I said, how are you, George? He says, I'll be all right. 3 days later, he was dead. After he died, somebody got an idea to take the show with the original cast and take it out on the road. They took it out on the road, and from there on, it became history. It's done in every country in the world. It's done in every language, even Chinese, Japanese. And this is the story of Porgy and Bess.
Well, according to the old clock on the wall, and being an old radio man, you know what the old clock on the wall means. We're going to end tonight's big broadcast with a couple of Bob Effros compositions. I want to thank you for coming on the show again. We will have you back.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to it.
You're a bottomless...
As they say in the vernacular in the music business, overtime marches on.
And I believe that this concluding recording is connected with Mr. Selvin as well, who was our guest earlier this evening, and who was with us for last week's program. It's called The Memory of This Dance. It's by Glen and the Casa, Loma Orchestra. The vocal is by Kenny Sargent. It's from 1942, The Memory of This Dance.
Memory of this dance will always cling to me and always bring to me a beautiful thought of you. Though I've been called away and we must part, the tune we're dancing to, romancing to, will never leave my heart. The smile upon your face, the thrill of your embrace, will always hold a place as long as the starlight shines. So till we meet again and dance again, I want you to know while I'm gone, the memory of this dance will linger on. Smile upon your face, the thrill of your embrace, will always hold a place as long as the starlight shines. So till we meet again and dance again, I want you to know while I'm gone, the memory of this dance will linger on.
Kiss name is Pedro. He sings in a quartet, and since the day he met his little flame Tonette beneath her window, he gathers his quartet to help him woo this maid. They sing this serenade. Tonight, Tonette, tonight is the night for moonlight kisses. Tonight, Tonette, tonight is the night to learn what bliss is. Guitars are strumming, sweethearts are humming a song that's carefree and mellow. So while the stars are bright, please come out tonight. Won't you be a good fellow? There'll never be a lovelier night for love than this is. Tonight, Tonette, tonight is the night for moonlight kisses. So while the stars are bright, please come out tonight. Won't you be a good fellow? There'll never be a lovelier night for love than this is. Tonight, Tonette, tonight is the night for moonlight kisses.